Good morning, Year 5-6. Welcome to your maths lesson for Wednesday, the 3rd of February. Some arithmetic questions again. So 8 more questions, 8 to 10 minutes. Off you go. Okay, let's look at the answers. So 775.10 times 100. So multiply by 100, the digits will move 2 places to the left. So you've got 77,510. 70% of 4,320. So a few different ways you could do it. So you could divide by 100, multiply by 70. 3,024. 20.77 take away 15.55, and you should have 5.22. We were practicing this yesterday, so hopefully that was okay. 4/6 of 1,920, 1,280. So you divide by the denominator, divide the 1,920 by 6 and multiply that answer by 4. 27.75 take away 10.5, 17.25. 4 2/8 take away 5/8. So you need to turn 4 2/8 into an improper fraction. So think about the 4 wholes. Each of those 1 wholes is 8/8. So 4 lots of 8/8. So 4 times 8 is 32. Then add another 2 onto that, and you got 34. And then take away the 5, and you end up with 29/8. 107 times 51. 5,457. 10 sevenths, add 5 sevenths, add 2 sevenths, 17 sevenths. All right, what are we learning today? So today we are subtracting decimals with a different number of decimal places. So what we mean is that the numbers we're subtracting, some might have 1 decimal place, some might have 2, but they're not necessarily going to have the same number of decimal places, i.e. they're not going to have the same number of digits after the decimal point. So with this one, we've got 4.54 take away 1.4. So the key thing we need to think about here is what is going on in the hundredths here. So when we've got our 1.4 yesterday, we thought about having a placeholder that we could add onto the number to help us. This doesn't change the number. This is still 1.4. It's not 1.40, it's not anything else other than 1.4. So then we can go ahead and complete the subtraction. So I've got 4 hundredths, take away 0 hundredths, I will still have 4 hundredths. 5 tenths, take away 4 tenths is 1 tenth, and then the decimal point, and then 4 take away 1 is 3. So we can see that over in the place value chart. So I've got 4 hundredths, and I'm not taking anything away, so it's still going to have 4 hundredths. I've got 5 tenths, and I'm going to take 4 tenths away. Means I've got 1 tenth left. And I've got 4 ones, I take 1 away, and I've got 3. Let's look at another couple of examples. So 6 tenths, or I've got 6.06, and I'm going to take away 3.7. So 6 hundredths take away, there is nothing there. So 6 hundredths take away nothing will be 6 hundredths. This time I've got no tenths, take away 7 tenths. So I can't do that one, so I'm going to need to exchange. So I'm exchanging a 1 for 10 tenths. So then I've got 10 tenths, take away 7 tenths, gives me 3 tenths, but in the decimal point. 5 take away 3 is 2. All right, this time I've got 4.7, take away 3.825. Now, it's when I've got nothing above it here, or everything's lined up correctly, but I've got nothing above the thousandths and the hundredths because there aren't any in this number. And if there aren't any, we can put in the zeros to show that there aren't any. It means we've got the placeholders there to help us complete our subtraction, because then I've got no thousandths, take away 5 thousandths. and I'm not going to be able to do that without exchanging across. So first I'm going to exchange one of these tenths, which means there'll be 6 tenths left there now, for 10 hundredths. But that doesn't help me over with the thousandths yet. So once I've exchanged one of those tenths for 10 hundredths, I can now exchange one of those hundredths, which means there'll be 9 hundredths left, for 10 thousandths. Now I can do 10 thousandths take away 5 thousandths, which will give me 5 thousandths. Then I can do 9 hundredths take away 2 hundredths, which will be 7 hundredths. 6 tenths take away 8 tenths. I can't do that, so I'm going to need to exchange one of my ones for 10 tenths. And I've got 16 tenths, sorry, take away 8 tenths would be 8 tenths. Decimal point. 3 take away 3, and I need to make sure I put the 0 there to show that it is a number less than 1. I need to show that it's 0 point something. So we should have 0.875. So once again, a lot of these subtraction and addition questions when we're looking at decimals are going to involve questions around money. So here's another question we can look at. How much change would I get from £10 if I bought a bag of apples costing £4.27? So how much change would you get? You give over the £10 note, the apples cost £4.27, so that needs to be taken out of the £10 and then you get given your change. So what I need to do is do £10, take away the £4.27, which the apples cost, and what you get back will be the change, the amount you've given too much for the apples, so you need to get that bit back. So a couple of ways you could do this. Sometimes with questions like this, you might want to use the number line method, where you start at £4.27, you count up to £10. Certainly if you were trying to do that mentally, that's something you would likely do. If we're going to solve in column method, we're going to need to do lots of exchanging across, because I've got no hundredths, no tenths, and no ones. So I'm going to have to go all the way to the tens, which means there'll be no tens there. And now I've got 10 ones. 1 10 is the same as 10 ones, but that doesn't help me over here, so I need to exchange that again. So now I've got 9 ones, and I've exchanged one of those for 10 tenths. And then I need to exchange them again. So I've got 9 tenths until I've got 10 hundredths. Then I can complete 10 hundredths take away 7 hundredths, which is 3. 9 tenths take away 2 tenths, which is 7. Decimal point. 9 take away 4, 5. So my answer is £5.73. Really important that when we put the answer, we add in the pound sign, because it's asking how much. So our answer must be in money, which means we must have the pound sign in our answer. We need to show that our answer is in money. It's got to have the correct units in it. Okay, moving on to our silver questions then. So we've got some subtraction questions in column ready for you to have a go at. Then we've got a couple for you to complete the column yourself, and then some word problems to have a go at as well. So please show the working out in your book. So show the column method so we can see the exchanging that you're doing and making sure that we're following the correct method. So pause the video and have a go at these silver questions. Okay, let's have a look at the answers. Hopefully we can see these okay today. So 2.36 take away 1.4, we've got 0.96. 6.15 take away 3.8, we've got 2.35. 7.3 take away 1.15, we've got 6.15. Then 24.4 take away 3.12, we've got 21.28. And then 13.59 take away 1.82, got 11.77. And then 5.6 take away 1.39, got 4.21. So the mass of a bag of marbles is 54.3 grams. These two marbles are removed from the bag. What is the mass of the bag of marbles now? So you needed to subtract these two marbles from the mass of the bag, and that hopefully left you with 32.56 grams. Again, important to include the grams. Okay, moving on to our goal questions. So let's have a quick read through them first. If there are 5 hundredths and I subtract nothing from it, then there are still 5 hundredths. Do you agree with Whitney? Explain your answer. So if there are 5 hundredths and I subtract nothing from it, then there are still 5 hundredths. Do you agree with Whitney? Have a little look. This one, Teddy used a calculator to solve 31.4, take away 1.408. When he looked at his answer of 17.32, he realised he'd made a mistake. He had typed all the correct digits in. Can you spot his mistake? What should the correct answer be? So have a little go and think about what his answer should be. So pause the video and have a go at these two. Okay, let's have a look. Whitney is not correct. She needs to use 0 as a place value holder in the hundredths column of 4.9 and then exchange. So we need to think about how, when we're doing 4.9 take away 3.85, the mistake being that just because there's nothing here doesn't mean we then think about this 5 as it's not 5 take away the nothing here. It is, we've got nothing here, take away 5. So if we haven't got anything here which we can take away 5 from, we need to complete the exchange across. Okay? And hopefully we managed to explain that. Again, you might want to think about different methods you could use, such as number line. So over with this one, Teddy placed the decimal point after the 4, making it 14.08 instead of 1.408. So the correct answer should have been 29.992. Okay, and then moving on to the platinum questions. So a plank of wood measures 2.6 meters. A carpenter cuts a piece of wood from the plank that is 0.52 meters long. What is the length of the remaining plank? So think about how you would solve that bit. Then the carpenter cuts a second piece of wood from the plank. She now has 0.3 meters of the plank remaining. What is the length of the second piece of wood that she cut? So you need to use your answer from the first bit to be able to help you with the second bit. A shop sells fruit. Chen buys 2 apples and 3 bananas. He pays £2.35. Megan buys 2 apples and 1 banana. She pays £1.25. How much does 1 banana cost? And then Hassan bought a notebook and a pen. He paid £1.10. Kate bought a notebook and 2 pens. She paid £1.45. Calculate the cost of a notebook. Sometimes with these questions, it might be worth just drawing a little picture and just thinking it through. Draw a little picture of like an apple and a banana, and then like group it and make some notes of how much that cost, how much that bit costs. Sometimes that can help you think through the process of what you're trying to do. Making those little notes with the little pictures can be useful if you're not too sure about these ones. So pause the video and have a go. Okay, looking at our answers then. So for A, we should have had 2.08 meters, and then for B, 1.78 meters. The cost of a banana in this question, 55p, or £0.55. Showing there we've got our answer is in money. And then the cost of a notebook, 75p. Okay, well done everyone, and I will see you tomorrow for our next maths lesson.